We're going to start in a couple of minutes. If you could find your seats, that would be great. Thank you. Okay, if everyone could please take your seats, we're going to try to get the program starting on time. If everyone could please take your seats. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. If you are not yet seated, if you could please have a seat. We have some more reserved seating up at the front for our electeds and dignitaries for easy access when it's time to light the menorah. So please have a seat. Thank you all for being here tonight. I'm Julia Mates. I'm the Director of Policy and Government Affairs for the Jewish Community Relations Council of the Bay Area, JCRC. And on behalf of JCRC and the over 70 Jewish organizations that we represent, I'd like to thank you all for joining us tonight on this like soon-to-be stormy evening. It's very meaningful for the community to have you here, all of us together in solidarity against anti-Semitism, specifically the incident that happened at Branham High School a couple of weeks ago. I would also like to thank Congregation Shir Hadash for opening their beautiful synagogue to us and creating this lovely space for us to gather in unity. So thank you very much to Congregation Shir Hadash. And so again, we have many dignitaries and electeds and community leaders here today. We will introduce all of them and give them some time to speak. First, I would like to introduce Rabbi Rafi Ellenson of Congregation Shir Hadash. Share a few words with us.
Good evening. I'm Rabbi Rafi Ellenson, and it is an honor to welcome you all, local clergy, elected officials, and distinguished guests, to Congregation Shir Hadash for Silicon Valley United Against Anti-Semitism. In this season, when sunlight dims at an ever-rapid pace, when the immense pain of anti-Semitism rears its head around the world in Sydney and just down the street at a local high school, we ask ourselves, where can we find the light? Our Havdalah liturgy teaches us, La Yehudim hayta ora v'simcha v'sason v'ikar ken tihelanu. The Jewish people had light and gladness and joy and honor. So may it be for us. We say these words each and every week at the start of Havdalah, reminding us that not only darkness, but light too is a part of our Jewish story. Soon, this evening, we will be illuminated by the light of our Havdalah candle and by the light of our Chanukiah, by the light of our community leaders who have come to stand with the Jewish community, and by the light of all of you who have chosen to come here tonight, as if to say, the Jewish people have had darkness and sadness and disappointments and tragedy, but tonight we have light, and we have gladness, and we have joy and honor. So may it be for us, all of us, in this room and beyond it, that we each may be the light we deserve and the light this moment needs. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being this light. I want to take this opportunity to invite the Cantorial and Rabbinical Association of Greater San Jose to come up to do the Havdalah blessings alongside me. La Yehudim hayta
Torah, hayta ora, v'simcha v'sason ikar. La Yehudim hayta ora, v'simcha v'sason ikar. ברכה וששון ויקר.
How many rabbis does it take to
Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen borei peri hagafen ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei minei v'samim borei minei v'samim ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei meorei ha'esh borei meorei ha'esh ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamavdil ben kodesh lecho ben or lechoshech ben Israel le'amim le'yem hashvi le'sheshet yemei mamaseh Baruch atah Adonai hamavdil ben kodesh lecho Ahu Hanavi Eliyahu Hatishbi Eliyahu 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 Hagiladi Bimhera v'yamenu Yavo Eleinu Imashiach ben David Imashiach ben David Miriam HaNeviah Moses v'Nimrod ve'Anat Miriam Tirkot itanu Lemim
Olam, Miriam וימטיר כל איתנו לתקן את העולם במהרה בימינו יבוא אלינו אל מי הישועה אל מי הישועה.
Shavua Tov. Shavua Tov.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Can you hear me? Hello?
Testing,
Hello?
testing.
Testing, testing. Is it on? All right. Thank you so much. For those of you unfamiliar with our traditions, Havdalah signifies the closing of Shabbat, which is the Sabbath for Jewish people, and the starting of a new week. So thank you very much, rabbis and cantors, for that. We are fortunate to have many elected dignitaries and community leaders with us today, and we ask now that if you are an elected official or community leader that has been asked to stand and join us in lighting the menorah, if you would just come and stand on the bima or on this platform, just at these two stairs, we will start to light the menorah, and so just leave a little bit of a hole for you so that when we take a photo, you can be seen. And also, I will go ahead and do a roll call and just let you know who is here. And because we are in a sacred space and because we do have quite a long list, maybe we should just hold our applause, but we do thank all of the electeds and dignitaries who are here with us today. So again, if you've been asked to stand during the menorah lighting, please join us now. From the U.S. House of Representatives, California's 16th Congressional District, Congressman Sam Liccardo. From the California State Legislature, California's 13th Senate District, State Senator Josh Becker. California Assembly District 26, Assembly Member Patrick Aarons, here for Assembly Member Gail Pellerin, who could not be available but represents the district that the high school is in. From the Santa Clara County Supervisor Susan Ellenberg, representing Margaret Abe Koga and former Los Gatos Mayor Mariko Sayak, representing Supervisor Betty Young Kelsey Kumbelik, representing Supervisor Otto Lee Thay Vu Nguyen, and now in alphabetical order from the City of Belmont, Mayor Julia Mates, from the City of Campbell, Mayor Sergio Lopez, from the City of Los Altos, Vice Mayor Nisa Fligor, from the Town of Los Gatos, Mayor Rob Moore and Vice Mayor Maria Ristro, from the City of San Jose, Mayor Matt Mahan, from the City of San Jose, Councilmember David Cohen, from the City of Sunnyvale, Councilmember Charles E. Chang, City of Campbell, Mayor Sergio Lopez. And feel free, if it's getting a little crowded, to you can use the second step as well. From the School District of Campbell Union High School, Superintendent Robert Bravo. From Campbell Union High School District, Board President James Kim. Campbell Union High School District Trustee Elizabeth Halliday. Branham High School Principal Beth Silbergeld. Menlo Park School District Trustee Francisca Segre. From the community organizations of the African American Community Service Agency, Executive Director Milan Balintun, Center for Spiritual Enlightenment, Reverend Sri Kim Bik Mirishat. From the Diocese of San Jose and People Acting in Community Together, Father John Pedigo. Evergreen Islamic Center, Faisal Yazadi, ING Maha Al-Jinadi, and Zachary Markwith. From the Pacifica Institute, Nurdin Kaparov. From the Santa Teresa Catholic Church, Deacon Steve Herrera. Sikh Gurdwara, Sikhdev Bainiwal. Silicon Valley Interreligious Council, Board President Garth Pickett. And from Jewish organizations, the Bay Area Jewish Coalition Bay Area Center to Counter Anti-Semitism, BACA, Maya Brunitke. Congregation Beth David, Rabbi Nathan Roller. Congregation MF, Faith Joy Danowitz, Jewish Silicon Valley CEO Daniel Klein and Rabbi Ilana Baird, and from Temple Emmanuel, Rabbi Dana Magat. Thank you so much for joining us today as we light the menorah.
Test. Okay. Right before we light our Hanukkah menorah, our tradition requires that each Hanukkah flame be separate and distinct from its neighbor, in order that if even one were to be extinguished, we notice. Tonight we notice. We notice when Jews are targeted, whether here in our community or a world away in Australia. The Havdalah candle, which we lit just a moment ago, is different. It requires multiple wicks joining together to make a single flame. And both types of candles, the Hanukkah and the Havdalah candle, teach us something important about solidarity. The need to see each of us as individuals with inherent worth, and the recognition that each one of us is intertwined. We have just made Havdalah, braiding our flames together. Now, as we are about to kindle the Hanukkah, may we dedicate ourselves to carry forward both our individual light and our collective flame. So please join with me. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Hanukkah. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, she'asa nisim lavoteinu bayamim hahem bazman hazeh. Utsur Yeshuati lecha na'eh l'shabeach, tikom betefilati l'sham todat sabeach, letachin matbeach, nitzar hamnabeach, az egmor b'shir mizmor, Chanukat hamizbeach, az egmor b'shir mizmor, Chanukat hamizbeach.
Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach.
Please feel free to be seated. Oh, we're going to do one more group shot. One more group shot. Oh, okay. Thank you all. Please feel free to have a seat. As I mentioned, we are so grateful to our local elected representatives for joining us in unity tonight, and we will hear from a few of them this evening, understanding that we all need to move on with our evening. So we will only hear from a few of them tonight, and thank you again, all who came. Our first speaker is Congressman Sam Liccardo. Do you want to hold it, or do you want it in your...
Chag Sameach, that is the best Hebrew with a Sicilian accent I can muster. Thank you to Congregation Shir Hadash for welcoming me and for welcoming all of us to this very important moment with the community. And thank you also to the Jewish Community Relations Council for bringing us together. Together is an important word these days, and we shouldn't take it lightly. So thank you to all of us. Took the time, all of you took the time to come together in this moment. As we think about the horrors of our world in Sydney, Boulder, Washington, D.C., and quite sadly, even here at home in our own high schools, there is, to be clear, a moment of darkness here. And although it is appropriate that we condemn that darkness, and we should do so clearly and unequivocally, this is a moment in Hanukkah when we can also celebrate the light. Certainly this congregation, each of you coming together, but I was reminded of it as I thought about just the events of recent weeks, and I had a chance to speak with Cormac, a young student. Where'd Cormac go? All right, Cormac, I'm sorry, I'm calling you out. And I learned how the students came together after this horrible incident involving the swastika, in which students staged a walkout and formed a human peace sign. I think yes. Thank you to those of you who took that initiative and stood up. I think of the teachers, the administrators came together and said, let's use this as a teachable moment to teach about the Holocaust, about the horrors of anti-Semitism. We should hold up these moments of light and hopefully use them to guide, to provide solace, and to inspire. Thank you for being the inspiration to all of us. I look forward to doing all I can to support your light, our light together. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you very much. Next, we'll hear from our state senator, Josh Becker.
Thank you. It's wonderful to look out at all of your beautiful faces, and I want to particularly thank the faith leaders from other denominations who are here with us today. And listen, I'm a history major, and I don't have a lot of time to talk, so I don't want to sugarcoat it. I mean, the anti-Semitism in history is a sign of a sickness in a society, and so don't want to sugarcoat, the incidents that happen. The swastika here was just, I still can't believe it actually happened. It really seems unimaginable that a mayor in a major city, Richmond, California, would repost something about the Australia attack being a false flag attack, that we'd have national influencers like Tucker Carlson or Nick Fuentes with really old school anti-Semitism. It's really quite a serious time from that standpoint. So I think tonight is wonderful, and I just think tonight really has to be the beginning, not the end. The beginning of a broader community conversation, at the beginning of education. I think as we'll hear, or at least as I heard, a lot of the students didn't understand the impact of what they were doing. Not all of them, but a lot of them didn't understand the impact that this would have and what they were doing. and really the beginning of reestablishing community in the Bay Area and in this country. I think that's what we need. And so I want to end on a few hopeful notes. First of all, the hopeful note is we know in Australia there was a hero, a Muslim man who really risked his life and almost lost his life to save others. An incredible moment. And really Muslim leaders across this region who condemned the attack and were incredibly strong in doing so. Two other hopeful notes. This year when we had a bill to focus on anti-Semitism in our schools for these exact reasons, AB 715, it was a malign bill, it was an attacked bill, it was really a lot of misinformation about this bill. But our colleagues in the Black Caucus and Latino Caucus, the API Caucus, the only Muslim member of the legislature, took the time to work with us to really just understand what was happening and pass this bill unanimously, 73-0 in the Assembly, 35-0 in the Senate. Extremely hopeful, and just like we stood against anti-Asian hate when it reared its head before, we all have to stand together against anti-Semitism. And on Thursday, I had a round table, totally different topic, but a woman came up to me afterwards and she said that my 14-year-old daughter was scared to come to the Los Gatos menorah lighting on Sunday. But she did come, and she said when she heard me talk, she was happy to know, number one, there actually is a Jewish caucus in the legislature, and that the Jewish caucus was giving money, which we did for the safety, $36,000 for the safety of these lightings in the area. And it just moved me to tears to hear her say this. And that's what this holiday is about. It's about community, it's about family, it's about bringing light to darkness. May we all work together to bring light into the darkness. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Senator. We'd like to call up next Assembly Member Patrick Aarons from Assembly District 26 on behalf of Assembly Member Gail Pellerin. The Assembly Member is going to read Assembly Member Pellerin's remarks, and we should also just note that Assembly Member Aarons, Pellerin, and of course, as you heard, State Senator Becker are all part of the Jewish caucus at the state legislature. So thank you so much for the work you do.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Before I begin remarks, I just wanted to underline two quick things. Number one is that in my first year in the legislature, having a mentor like Senator Becker and saying we should do something about anti-Semitism and actually doing it for politicians and getting something passed is rare in Sacramento. So thank you, Senator Becker. And two, I think sometimes we take for granted in Silicon Valley that not every one of our representatives in Congress supports Israel and the Jewish community and everything that we are going through right now. And we're very appreciative of our Congress member, Sam Liccardo, for your support. I have a letter here from our really strong and wonderful supporter and Assembly Member Gail Pellerin, who represents Branham High School and so many of the other areas affected by our community more recently. She asked me to read this for you all. I'm truly sorry I can't be here in person tonight. Standing together matters, especially in moments like this, and I wish I was there to look to each of you in the eye and clearly and unequivocally say, anti-Semitism has no place in our schools, our community, or our society. Even from afar, please know I stand with you in solidarity, committed to speaking out against hate and protecting the safety and dignity of our Jewish neighbors, and to ensuring that our shared values of respect, belonging are more than words, they are actions. Thank you to the Bay Area JCRC for bringing our community together. As the largest collective voices of Bay Area Jews, representing more than 70 organizations and synagogues, your leadership is essential, especially in moments like this. We are gathered because anti-Semitism surfaced in our own community, involving students at Branham High School. We are also here during a deeply painful time globally following the recent shooting at a Hanukkah candle lighting in Sydney. These events are a sobering reminder that anti-Semitism is real, present, and dangerous, and we must and it must be confronted wherever it appears. Thank you to the school district superintendent and school board trustees for taking swift and responsible action in response to this incident. Prompt leadership matters. It sends a clear message to our students, families, and the broader community that hate will not be tolerated, and we will have accountability and education. All of that must go hand in hand. Silence is not an option anymore. When anti-Semitism shows up, whether online in our schools or in public spaces, we have a responsibility to call it out clearly and unequivocally. At the same time, tonight, it is about unity. It is about standing up with our Jewish neighbors and friends and students and families and making it unmistakably clear that they are not alone. I am so grateful to the Jewish leaders, students, and elected officials and community members who are here tonight, who are speaking out against hatred. Your presence truly matters, your voice matters, and your courage matters. This evening sends a powerful message. Silicon Valley is united against anti-Semitism. We are choosing community over division, humanity over hate, and action over silence. Thank you all so much for standing with us today.
I'd like to now welcome Board of Supervisors of Santa Clara County, Susan Ellenberg.
Good evening and Chag Sameach. One of our most sacred duties is to teach our children. And if we don't teach them, others will. The internet will teach them. People with misinformation or hate in their hearts will teach them. And I want to particularly address and thank my friends on the Campbell Union High School School Board for being here tonight, Jason, Elizabeth, and James. I know that this weighs heavily on you, and I know that you and the superintendent have been called on to take swift action, and we've used words like no tolerance and hate has no place. And hate has no place. But if we alienate these children, and they are children, we will continue to perpetuate. Hate begets hate. Exclusion begets resentment. And it is my hope that we find ways to embrace the children that did this horrible thing, help them understand why it was horrible, make sure that in all of our schools, we are teaching not only about the history of the Holocaust, but the story of the Jewish people. It's hard to look with love at someone who you think has hate in their heart, but it is truly the only way forward for all of us. And I look forward to being part of the engagement, the teaching, the love, the solutions. Campbell Union High School is in my district as well, and please know that I am here to be a partner, to be an advocate, and to ensure that this doesn't happen again. Thank you all so much.
And next we'll hear from City of San Jose Mayor Matt Mahan.
Well, good evening. Thank you for inviting us to be here this evening with you in solidarity. I want to wish you all a happy Hanukkah, though I know it has perhaps not been as joyful as it ought to be. The morning of the first day of Hanukkah, as we all woke up and saw the news from Australia, I'm sure you all remember where you were as you saw the news. I was still at home with my family and stopped in my tracks, just in shock and horror. Spoke with my wife for a moment, and then, of course, as Mayor Liccardo will well recognize, my first call was to our police chief, who didn't even need me to explain why I was calling. He said, I've already talked to our officers. We'll be going by every synagogue, every Chabad house, every Jewish school. It's a terrible thing. And yes, that was on the other side of the world, but as we were talking about this evening, we realized that hatred, that ignorance exists right here in our home as well. And I really appreciate Supervisor Ellenberg's focus on the work we have to do in our schools, in our families, in our neighborhoods, because as we say, all politics is local. I think all moral education is local. And far too often in our schools, and I was a public school teacher for a couple of years, we either don't want to talk about morality, and we have a value-neutral education, or when we wade into these difficult topics, we often oversimplify and collapse into binaries of who's oppressed and who's an oppressor. I think we need to demand richer, deeper, harder conversations. I'm more interested in a discussion, a moral education reflective of the beautiful words from our rabbi about the individual candles of the menorah and the unity that we have. So I just wanted to be here this evening. It was kind of hard to explain to my children why I was actually not going to be able to join them for something. I'd be here, but that is the conversation we need to have with all of our children and continue to have the tough conversations, to face our history, because never again can't simply be a passive commitment, a slogan, a bumper sticker. It is actually, unfortunately, just given our nature as humans, it is a perpetual responsibility to engage everyone we interact with, and especially the next generation, in a conversation about our values and who we are as a community. And so I just appreciate the opportunity to be here with you this evening as we talk about where we're going. I want to thank Tyler Gregory for extending an invitation to partner with the JCRC to gather leaders at City Hall in the new year to talk about how we can better support our Jewish community, but really engage everyone in San Jose and beyond in that conversation, that ongoing conversation we need to have. In the meantime, I just want to wish you all a happy, safe, and peaceful holiday season with your loved ones. Thank you again for the invitation to be here this evening.
Thank you so much, Tyler. Next, we have Daniel Klein, CEO of Jewish Silicon Valley.
Good evening. It is great to see you all here tonight in solidarity with our rabbis, community partners, elected officials. Thank you to JCRC Bay Area and Shir Hadash for hosting and bringing us all together. What I want to do tonight is just elevate some of the Jewish voices in Santa Clara County in conversations that we've had. And just so everyone's aware, approximately 80,000 Jews live in Santa Clara County, approximately 30,000 Jewish households. And there's a lot of frustration, anger, and fear that is being felt by this community, partly because of what we're seeing in K through 12 education and the seeming normalization of hate and anti-Semitism and Jew hatred by administrators and by teachers that is creating significant pain and frustration. We're seeing some local elected officials who, when there's an opportunity for them to act and put their words into action, are choosing not to support legislation that actually gets hate and anti-Semitism out of our schools. And we have a local member of Congress who platformed an anti-Semite and a Holocaust denier, and instead of listening to the organized Jewish community, ignored them, and instead personally attacked Jews in our community in response. And so part of what I think the community is hoping we are united against is being able to name some of these things so we know what we're solving for and how we can come together to solve for the moments like this. And what makes me hopeful in seeing light within this darkness is one, I just want to appreciate Mayor Matt Mahan's clarity, swiftness, and unapologetic support for the community in this moment. No equivocation as to being able to explain or to add why any of this should be justified, because it's not. I also want to call out and appreciate Superintendent Bravo and Principal Silbergeld for, again, also unequivocally, clearly coming out saying this is unacceptable, and their willingness their commitment, and their interest to not only help the community through this moment, but put in the time and the energy partnering to make sure that we're getting hate out of our schools. And to what was said earlier, our children are looking at us as adults and seeing what we are and are not responding to. And so if we're going to be united against Jew hate and united against anti-Semitism, then it is on us as leaders to show examples of what that looks like, so we can finally get hate, not just anti-Semitism, but all hate out of our schools and out of our society. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Maya Bronicky, Bay Area Jewish Coalition.
Thank you. I'm here today in double role, also for the Bay Area Center to Counter Anti-Semitism and Hate and the Bay Area Jewish Coalition. Unfortunately, in the last 2 years, we had at least one incident reported in K-12 schools every school day. We can't change the past, we can only change the future. And to do this, we need you all, especially in K-12, because education is the way, the only way to teach tolerance, to teach acceptance, respect. Thank you so much, Campbell Union High School District leadership, for taking the right steps. Awareness is the first step, and then actual, meaningful, educational steps. I 100% agree with Supervisor Ellenberg. It's not about punishment. It's about embracing and teaching and building. Everyone here, thank you so much, because with your partnership, this is the only way that we can bring change. We need you all. We need you with us. We need you with all the children, because it's not a one children, one religion, one organization. So thank you, JCRC, for bringing everyone together, and thank you all for being here and helping us find the light.
From Campbell Union High School District, Superintendent Dr. Robert Bravo.
Thank you. From the singing that took place earlier, I thought to myself, and I apologize in advance, Father Pedigo, my parish needs to work on it, because there was some joy in there we don't do such a great job in my parish. So I want to thank the Congregation Shir Hadash for opening its doors and creating the space for this necessary gathering. I'm deeply pained by the anti-Semitism displayed by a group of our students. And to be clear, there is no place for anti-Semitism in Campbell Union High School District or anywhere in our nation or the world. The display of Nazi symbols and language represents one of the darkest evils in human history. And while many think that it's distant history, the reality is sobering, that even today, 80 years after the end of World War II, the global Jewish population has still not recovered to its level in 1939. Anti-Semitism clearly is not a relic of the past, it is a present danger. So I recognize the real and rightful pain this incident has caused within the Jewish community and the greater community, and it should never have happened. Even in this difficult moment, though, I'm encouraged by the strength of the collective response that I'm seeing. From our friends at the Bay Area Jewish Coalition, I think you advocated on our behalf with the people at the Simon Wiesenthal Center, so they're going to bring the mobile museum in March, even though they were booked out, and I appreciate that. I appreciate Senator Becker reaching out to myself and Principal Silbergeld. I'm especially grateful for the wise guidance of Rabbi Ellenson, Allison Barnes, the Jewish Community Relations Council, and Morgan Blum-Schneider of the Jewish Family and Children's Services. And I do want to recognize the leadership of Principal Silbergeld. So that spirit of community needs to guide us forward. Anti-Semitism does need to be confronted together, whether at home, in our schools, at work, online, or in public spaces. We all have a responsibility. And I know that the trustees are committed to ensuring our schools are places where every student feels safe, seen, and supported. Along with immediate actions to strengthen Holocaust education and foster inclusive campuses, we want to build practices that will endure beyond 2026. These efforts will include significant staff development through the California Teachers Collaborative for Holocaust and Genocide Education. And I am grateful to announce that this week, the board of the independent CUHSD Educational Foundation has established a fund called the Community of Care Fund that will be dedicated to these efforts, and they've made an initial commitment of $13,000 to that end. So education, courage, and community are what we need to stop anti-Semitism and hate. Together we choose those values and for the long road ahead. Thank you.
Now we'll hear from the principal of Branham High School, Beth Silbergeld.
Good evening. Thank you, Representative Sam Liccardo, Senator Josh Becker, Mayor Matt Mahan, JCRC, and all the partners who brought us together for Silicon Valley United Against Anti-Semitism here at Shir Hadash. And thank you to every community member here tonight who recognized this as a moment to stand together and use our voices for students now and in the future. 3 weeks ago, a group of students stopped casually tossing a football on the Branham football field at lunch to take part in an anti-Semitic act, one that was recorded and spread rapidly across social media in our community, our nation, and beyond. Anti-Semitism, racism, and homophobia were present before that moment, but this act ripped off the veil again. It shocked us, it hurt, it frightened people, it angered people. It sparked conversations about Holocaust education, accountability, discipline, and what real repair should look like. Like other significant history, the Holocaust is taught in middle school and again in high school. Even in the short years between these lessons, students are constantly learning from the world around them. They must understand that this symbol is not history frozen in time. It lives on today in neo-Nazi and white supremacist movements that continue to threaten Jewish people and other marginalized communities. Adolescence is a time when students are shaping their values, and moments like this call us to teach not only information, but empathy, courage, and humanity. At Branham and across CUHSD, we are committed to meeting that call with intention, care, and action. Anti-Semitism is learned. It shows up in TikToks and memes, in media that is far too complex for adolescents to untangle, and in casual conversations that normalize harm. Schools are essential places of unlearning hate. We help students think critically, question what they see, and ground themselves in truth, dignity, and compassion. But schools cannot do this work alone. We are being asked to respond to deep problems that exist in the world, where political leaders, parents, and brilliant minds are struggling to find solutions, and education is only part of the solution. Families, faith communities, civic leaders, and neighbors all share this responsibility. The Havdalah candle and the Hanukkah remind us that light is strongest when its strands are joined and the candles are side by side. Let our joint efforts shine just as brightly as we work to interrupt hate toward Jewish people in our community.
We are now very honored to have with us Branham High School senior Cormac Nolan.
Hello, everybody. I'm just going to put this. Sorry. Hello, everyone. My name is Cormac Nolan, and I am a senior at Branham High School. A few weeks ago, we as a community were attacked with a vile and appalling anti-Semitic incident where 9 uneducated students formed their bodies into a swastika. This automatically brought back memories of my visit to the concentration camp of Auschwitz and Birkenau, where 1 million Jews were slaughtered under the symbol those students praised. Standing at school, I felt completely disappointed and unwanted, but after taking to social media to bring awareness of the increasing anti-Semitism on not just my campus, but others around our district, I received an outpouring of support from friends and strangers across the country. I would like to personally thank my principal, Ms. Silbergeld, for all the support she has given to myself and others who needed someone to talk to. But this speech should not just be about the feelings that overcame me, but rather the necessity for educations on topics such as the Holocaust. Far too many people do not understand how the Holocaust started and how complacency contributed to its escalation into a genocide. Furthermore, with the decrease in survivors of the Holocaust, future generations will lose that knowledge of the tragedies that occurred within Europe. We need new forms of education so that we may be able to combat anti-Semitism to the best of our abilities. But the Holocaust and the atrocities of the Nazi regime are not just a Jewish problem. It's an issue for those who are people of color, those with disabilities, those who are of different faiths, and those who stand for democracy. It is imperative for us as the Jewish community, as well as others who are advocates for Jews, to speak out even when you are the only one in the room to do so. The perpetuation of hate is caused by the collective action of society, people who do not speak out and refuse or neglect to tell others that this is wrong. While the issue at my high school has died down, the hatred that once littered the football field still leaves its mark. It is amazing to see so many here supporting our Jewish siblings, but I urge you now to speak out against hate, not only against us, but for all peoples, to speak out against prejudice and to speak out against the oppression of all minorities in need of support. Be the change you want to see in the world, and hopefully future generations will live a life of love. Thank you.
Now I'd like to welcome Father John Pedigo, priest of the Diocese of San Jose and the director of People Acting in Community Together.
I am not the priest at Dr. Bravo's parish, so just want to put that clear. thank you for welcoming me into this sacred moment as the executive director of PACT, which is a multi-faith, multi-issue community organization, but also as a member of the clergy. I come tonight simply to say we are here with you and we are here for you. This past couple weeks have been heavy. Here in our own backyard, students at Branham High School used a symbol of hatred that wounded the Jewish community and wounded all of us. And across the world, violence struck at a gathering meant to celebrate life and faith. Different places, but the same ancient hatred, the same ache in the heart. PAC's faith leaders were clear in our statement this week. Anti-Semitism is not just an attack on Jewish neighbors. It is an attack on the moral fabric that holds all of us together. Where hate is tolerated, no one is truly safe. Tonight, I want to say that again, but more importantly, I want to say it to you. You are not alone. Havdalah marks the crossing between light and darkness. And tonight, on the eve of the winter solstice, the longest night of the year, we all feel that symbolism deeply. The darkness feels close. The shadows feel bold. And yet, people of faith have always known something that the world often forgets. That in the darkest of nights, we still choose to light the candle. Whether we light the Hanukkah as Jews or the Advent wreath as Christians, we hold the candle not because we light the candle, not because the darkness is gone, but because courage insists on showing up anyway. We light it because faith allows us to see what others cannot see. That is a future that is shaped not by fear, but by solidarity. Not by hatred, but by compassion. Not by violence, but by love that refuses to be extinguished. Tonight, the multi-faith community stands with the Jewish community of Silicon Valley. We grieve with you. We will show up with you. And we commit together to protecting the dignity, safety, and sacred worth of every neighbor. So I'd like to close with a blessing. May the light we kindle tonight travel farther than the darkness expects. And may we walk forward, Jewish, Christian, Muslim, Sikh, and people of all conscience, choosing love again and again.
Thank you very much. To close our speakers out this evening, my colleague Allison Barnes of JCRC Bay Area.
As the final community speaker this evening, I want to begin by thanking everyone here. My fellow speakers, the elected officials, the clergy of many faiths who attended, community leaders, education leaders, and every single community member. I especially want to thank Rabbi Rafi Ellenson, Cantor Devorah Feldler-Levy, Executive Director Shonda Witkin, and the entire Shir Hadash community, without whom this event would not have happened today. When we come together in community and rededicate ourselves to shared values, I believe hope begins to grow anew. I think we've made one of our shared beliefs very clear today. Anti-Semitism has no place in our community, especially not in our schools. At JCRC, we believe that at the core of hate, including anti-Semitism, is ignorance. And if I can say, the one incredible thing about ignorance is that we know the antidote, and that is education. And when I put it that way, some may think, that's simple. Teach a few kids a little bit about the Holocaust and we should be all set. But that is not the case. Anti-Semitism is like mold. It can grow in hidden places. The signs of exposure to it can be misunderstood if you don't understand what to look for. It spreads quickly and it can be very, very hard to get rid of. As Senator Becker said earlier, today is not an ending. Today is only the beginning. Today we are coming together to honor that we've all experienced an exposure to anti-Semitism that was impossible to miss. And together we dedicate ourselves to the work to make sure we stop anti-Semitism in its tracks now. This work is daily, it is systemic, and it is hard. It won't be done tomorrow, this month, this school year, or even the next if it's going to be thorough. But through my now many conversations with Dr. Bravo and Principal Silbergeld, I am growing more and more hopeful for long-term positive changes. Superintendent Dr. Bravo and Principal Silbergeld, we are here in unity with your students, families, and community members who are affected by anti-Semitism perpetuated by Branham students. But we're also here to represent hope. We are here with the hope of improvement, and we are here because we believe in the capacity for positive change. I feel confident when I say many of the people in this room hope to be a continued resource to you. We hope to be your partners and allies as you begin to plan and implement these long-term systemic approaches that will lead to the end of any kind of anti-Semitism at Branham or any other school. There is still so much work that needs to be done, but we can do it if we will all do it together. Thank you.
And now Rabbi Rafi will come back for a few prayer, and then we'll thank you all for joining us.
Before we depart from this evening, I want to bring us back to the words that I began with tonight. La Yehudim hayta ora v'simcha v'sason v'ikar ken tihelanu. The Jewish people had light and gladness and joy and honor. So may it be for us. I bless us that this refrain becomes true, that we as a people do not suffer alone, but that we can experience light and gladness and joy and honor together in the company of beloved friends, neighbors, and allies. Our tradition took these words of liturgy from the book of Esther, written in the aftermath of, thank God, an averted attempt to destroy our people. But our sages added to it the quiet insistence, so may it be for us. May we too know the light of community. May we feel the gladness and joy that comes with feelings and knowledge of security. May we receive the honor of being celebrated as exactly who we are, as Jews among the fabric of all of humanity. So may it be for us. So may it be for us. Chag Urim Sameach. May we feel the joy of these lights in this season. And Shavua Tov. May it be a good week for us all here tonight and for the entire world.
Again, on behalf of JCRC and our Jewish community, thank you so much for joining us this evening in solidarity. In true Jewish tradition, we have some food, some snacks, cookies and things on your way out. Thank you again for joining us. Thank you so much for coming.